Welcome to Every Movie I've Ever Seen. This is a special March Madness edition where throughout the month of March I'm going to be reviewing Clive Owen movies tournament style to figure out which one is best. Now the movie that I'm talking about today is Words and Pictures. This is a movie. It's I suppose like a romantic comedy, maybe just like a romance movie. Clive Owen plays a English teacher working at like a private school, and he starts to get involved with this new art teacher. She's like a famous artist. They have like this little battle going on about words versus pictures, which are better. And that's pretty much the movie. There's this weird little subplot about this one student that's a real creep and like harassing another student. But yeah, the movie's fine. Again, this feels kind of lackluster. It's been kind of a lackluster week for movies. But it's fine. Nothing special. Nothing. It's not really for me. I suppose Clive Owen gets some good stuff to do. He's got a lot of. This guy has a lot of problems in his life. I guess number one being his alcoholism. He's an alcoholic. He's got problems with his son. So he has a lot of opportunity to showcase some decent acting in this movie, but there's not really that much more surface level. There's some interesting conversations about words and pictures, but it all feels kind of like vague, all kind of stab in the dark. They're not really. I don't think they're really saying anything. They're saying stuff without really saying anything. They're not really digging too deep into it, which maybe they're not supposed to. Maybe that's not the point of the movie. But yeah, he's kind of a jerk of a character in this movie, and I'm starting to think that he might be kind of a jerk of a character in a lot of his movies. Or maybe that's just been the last couple of movies, but he's kind of a jerk in this movie. I mentioned he's an alcoholic, but so it's nice to see towards the end of the movie when he does start to turn his life around a little bit, or at least attempt to turn his life around. I'm not sure if they're trying to say that he's better now, towards the end of the movie, because in my opinion, he still had a little bit to go. He's on the path of getting better. I wouldn't really say he's quite there yet, but maybe the movie is trying to say that, which that could just be the movie attempting to oversimplify things, which sometimes happens in movies, especially movies with a romantic element. Usually it's kind of formulaic. Something big will happen in the middle towards the end, which will cause a lot of problems in the relationship, and then everything will get resolved, and it will kind of end with a tone of, and then they lived happily forever after, and nothing ever went wrong ever again in their relationship. And, that's not how things work. But sometimes there is an open-endedness, too, with romantic movies, which I like those a little bit more. The couple will not actually even be together at the end of the movie. They'll just be like, maybe they'll get back together. Who knows? They were both in that restaurant and they smiled at each other, so who knows what'll happen. But yeah, I guess when it's too clean cut, it feels a little bit too fairy tale for me. But which I'm not saying that's what this movie was like, but I'm just rambling, honestly, at this point. This movie goes up against Croupier. Really kind of a lackluster battle. Neither of these movies hit me all that much. If I had to pick one to go on to the quarterfinals, I would have to pick Words and Pictures. And it's not just because I want to say Croupier as little as possible. I think maybe Words and Pictures is a better movie. I mean, like, maybe it's better done. Could that be possible? I don't know. I would have to, like, see if people agree with that statement. Is it, like, is it accepted online that this movie is just a terrible movie and, like, bad acting, bad directing, bad writing? I don't know. It seemed fine to me. So, sure. Why not? Words and Pictures. It seemed decently made. There you go. Beats out that other thing. So now we have our penultimate quarterfinals match coming up tomorrow, which will be Shoot 'em Up versus Words and Pictures. So look forward to that. It's not actually fighting 3 movies, it's fighting 2 movies. It's not Words, comma, and Pictures. It's Words, it's Croupier and Words and Pictures. So that's 2 movies, not 3 movies. But yeah. So I guess that's all I've got to say about Words and Pictures.